Good evening, all. We'll start shortly. All right, so welcome to our weekly webinar, Market Masterclass with Religare. In this webinar, in next 20 minutes, we'll talk about the market performance. For brief, but the real focus would be on how we should plan our strategy for the next week, sectors to focus, stocks to watch. Everything we'll cover in next 20 minutes, followed by the Q&A session. So if you have any questions related to the webinar, any particular sector that you wish to explore more on, we can talk during the Q&A session. So आप सभी का स्वागत है हमारे इस वीकली वेबिनार में। और इस वीकली वेबिनार का पर्पस क्या है बेसिकली कि नेक्स्ट वीक के लिए क्या ऑब्जर्वेशंस है हमारी वो हम शेयर करें सो दैट कि आप प्रिपेयर हो जाएं नेक्स्ट वीक के लिए मार्केट में इन्फॉर्म्ड तरीके से अपने ट्रेडिंग डिसीजन इन्वेस्टमेंट डिसीजन को लेने में, राइट? सो लेट्स स्टार्ट विदाउट मच डिले. First, a disclaimer that this webinar is meant for education, for sharing the information based on what we are seeing in the markets. It's not a trading or investment recommendation. So before you make any decision based on the information shared, please check with your financial advisor. जो भी हम बात करने वाले हैं बेसिकली वो एक ग्राउंड क्रिएट करने की बात है कि क्या मार्केट में दिख रहा है, किस तरीके से आपको प्लान करना चाहिए, बट ये कोई ट्रेडिंग और इन्वेस्टमेंट रिकमेंडेशन नहीं है. तो जो भी आप अपना डिसाइड करें वो अपने इन्वेस्टमेंट एडवाइजर से जरूर बात करें बिफोर यू मेक एनी डिसीजन बेस्ड ऑन द इंफॉर्मेशन शेयर. सो दिस इज द स्नैपशॉट, अ क्विक स्नैपशॉट. क्या हुआ मार्केट में पूरे हफ्ते उसका लेखा जोखा. So as you can see that Nifty Sensex flattish closed after 3 weeks of rise, right? It was a volatile week, but we could manage to end on a flat note. Sectorally, again, a mixed trend. IT was the savior, means IT gained roughly around 3.5%, followed by auto and metals. But on the losing side, we have media, energy, realty, FMCG, and pharma. They were among the losers. Banking financials, they were sitting on the sidelines, means again, it was a volatile week. So they could manage to end on a flat note as well. Talking about the gainers losers, so as you can see that 5 names, I've never seen this before, that top 5 names from the Nifty 50 basket during the week are all IT names, topped by Wipro, then HCL Tech, Infosys, TechM, and TCS. On the losing side, Indigo hammered badly after this, recent news around the cancellation of flights. So roughly around 9% cut, followed by Max Health, HUL, Eternal, and Titan. So they were the losers during the week. तो जैसा कि आपकी स्क्रीन पर ही है कि ये हफ्ता थोड़ा सा पॉज का, कंसोलिडेशन का, शांति का, 3 हफ्तों की तेजी के बाद, बट वॉलेटाइल रहा. मीन्स इतना आसान हफ्ता नहीं था. इनिशियली हमने देखा कि मार्केट का टोन डिक्लाइन का था, उसके बाद थोड़ा स्टेबिलिटी आई जब हम क्रूशियल लेवल के पास पहुंचे और वहां से फिर रिकवरी. तो इन सब के बीच में इंडेक्स आपका फ्लैट क्लोज हुआ, मिक्स ट्रेंड रहा. सेक्टोरल फ्रंट पे जो हाईलाइट था वो था आईटी का वापस आना, रिकवरी का. और जैसे कि देख भी पा रहे हैं कि निफ्टी के जो टॉप 5 गेनर्स हैं वो पांचों के पांचों नाम आईटी के हैं, राइट? तो ये एक पूरे हफ्ते का स्नैपशॉट. इसके अलावा जो कि एक मेजर फैक्टर रहता है जो कि इस प्रेजेंटेशन में यहाँ स्क्रीन पे नजर नहीं आ रहा है, बट काफी इंपॉर्टेंट कि ब्रॉडर मार्केट्स, मिड कैप और स्मॉल कैप, उनकी परफॉर्मेंस में स्मॉल कैप अभी भी नेगेटिविटी बनाए हुए है. वी आर स्टिल नॉट सीइंग एनी साइन ऑफ रिवर्सल इन स्मॉल कैप येट. It underperformed for yet another week, roughly around 2% kind of a cut, while mid cap ended almost on a flat note. So the underperformance which we have been seeing in small cap is still continuing. Now let's talk about how we should approach the market. So this is the daily price chart of Nifty. Last week we shifted to weekly, but this time around I have to show this channel That's why I'm using this daily chart again. So this is how, we were trading around the record highs after, making a new record highs last week. And this is the last 4 or 5 days of price action, means initial decline followed by consolidation. So as you can see, this yellow line, which we always say is the first line of defense, that is the 20 EMA around 25,900 area, that acted as a crucial support, right? And if you go back and see our last video also, we've talked about this, that 25,900 will be the key support to watch out for, and in case if it breaks, then 25,700. So Nifty could manage to defend this level, and simultaneously we are seeing this, if we join the last two highs and two lows, is a kind of a channel that has also started building. And this time around we were very close to the lower band of the same, and then this rebound. So this entire area, 25,900, 26,000 zone is now the critical base for this channel, or in fact for this recent uptrend. And how we can approach going forward means upar pe kitna. So last week also we've talked about 26,500 being the first area of resistance, and gradually towards 25,800. But as per the channel, you can see that it can extend gradually towards 27,200 also. So the tone is positive. You should continue with that. 25,900 is largely the make or break area, right? देखिए, जैसे कि लास्ट वीक हमने बात की थी कि मार्केट रिकॉर्ड हाई पे है, अगर इस टोन को बरकरार रखना है तो 25,900 700 के लेवल को होल्ड करना है। तो वो चीज हमने चेंज नहीं की है इस बार भी, क्योंकि उन्हीं लेवल से हमने इस बार भी हमने देखा कि मार्केट में रिकवरी आ गई, जो कि कोइंसाइड कर रहा है काफी क्रिटिकल सपोर्ट से, जो 20 दिन का एक्सपोनेंशियल मूविंग एवरेज और जो आपकी ट्रेंड लाइन डेली चार्ट पे, तो उन्हीं लेवल से हमने मार्केट में रिवर्सल होते हुए देखा है। अब ये है कि रिकवरी आई है, ये या तेजी बनेगी। चार्ट्स के इंडिकेशन ये है कि तेजी बनने के चांसेस ज्यादा हैं। मींस जब आप इस क्रिटिकल जोन से, जहां से कि लास्ट टाइम आपने देखा कि इसको टेस्ट किया था और उसके बाद फिर ये रिकवरी आई थी, तो यही उन्हीं लेवल्स को दोबारा से रीटेस्ट करने के बाद रिकवरी के केस में 26,500, 26,800, 27, 27,250 ये सब लेवल्स खुल गए हैं अब, राइट? तो पॉजिटिव साइड के बायस को अपने को बना के चलना है इंडेक्स में, जब तक कि आप 25,900 के लेवल को होल्ड कर रहे हैं। उसके बाद मोमेंटम थमता हुआ नजर आएगा, फिर दोबारा से कंसोलिडेशन में चले जाएंगे। तो अभी के लिए 25,900 काफी इंपॉर्टेंट रहने वाला है। इसके नीचे का एक डिसाइसिव क्लोज और मार्केट का टोन फिर साइडवेज टू नेगेटिव। नेक्स्ट, बैंकिंग. So banking, we were discussing last week also that we have tested a new milestone of 60,000 marks. So there should be, and there could be some consolidation, profit taking. But it turned out to be a profit taking week for PSU banks. So PSUs, where we were seeing consistent outperformance this week, post this news of delayed, action pertaining to the disinvestment, that triggered a sharp decline, across the PSU pack. And interestingly, while the PSUs were declining, the private banking majors finally, stabilized and showed some strength. Means the kind of underperformance that we were seeing, at least that subsided to some extent in the private banking players. Good part is here also, if you see this yellow line 20 EMA, we could manage to defend that. And what we had mentioned last week also, that 60,500, 600, that is something that we are still eyeing, when it comes to the banking index. The moment will cross this area with participation from private banking majors and the other financial names, possibility of fresh momentum is high. right? So that could help the index to inch towards 61,800, which we have mentioned last week also. So there is no change in our view when it comes to Nifty or banking index. Largely the levels are also same because market ended almost on the flat note, right? Downside, yes, the support has shifted. Now 59,000, the 20 EMA will be the first area of support. In case if we fail to hold 20 EMA, then 58,200 is something also that we may see. Largely focus should be on private banking majors. HDFC, ICICI, Axis, Kotak, uh, even IndusInd Bank is showing a sign of recovery. IDFC First Bank, Federal Bank, all these names are looking comparatively stronger. At the same time, Bandhan Bank is still struggling. Avoid. Do not add to your loss making position. That I always recommend, right? तो देखिए बैंकिंग में जैसे हमने बात की निफ्टी की कि कोई टेक्सचर में चेंज नहीं हुआ, कोई लेवल्स में चेंज नहीं हुआ, तो जब मार्केट में कुछ चेंज नहीं हुआ तो फिर आप अपने लेवल्स को क्यों चेंज करेंगे अननेसेसरली। तो यहाँ पे भी वही बायस है। सपोर्ट जरूर शिफ्ट हुआ है ऊपर की साइड पे, जो आपका 20 EMA है 5900 के पास, वो आपका पहला लाइन ऑफ डिफेंस होगा। ऊपर पे 60,500 600 का जोन ब्रेक करने के बाद जो आप ऊपर ये रेड लाइन ट्रेंड लाइन देख रहे हैं ये वाली, फिर एक फ्रेश मोमेंटम भी देखने को मिल सकता है और वो प्राइवेट बैंकिंग मेजर से ट्रिगर कर सकते हैं। तो जहां पे स्टेबिलिटी दिख रही है पीएसयूज को अभी अवॉइड करिए। काफी लंबी आउट परफॉर्मेंस हो गई थी। सर फंस गए हैं अब क्या करें, तो देखिए जब जहां फंसे हैं एटलीस्ट वहां पे ऐड मत करिएगा। और जो रिकवरी आ रही है अगर बाउंस आ रहा है, अब व्यू शॉर्ट टर्म का था। देखिए सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट क्या होता है ना कि आप कंफ्यूज हो जाते हैं ट्रेडिंग और इन्वेस्टमेंट में। अच्छा एसबीआई है, अच्छा है, लॉन्ग टर्म के लिए ही रख लेंगे, निकलेंगे नहीं। आपने लिया था अगर ट्रेडिंग के लिए, चाहे वो एसबीआई है, चाहे वो रिलायंस है, या कोई भी अच्छी कंपनी है, अ, आपको वो पैसे की जरूरत थी या फिर आपको कहीं लगाने होंगे या फिर आप कोई दूसरी अपॉर्चुनिटी भी देख सकते हैं, उसको उसी तरीके से रखिए। मिक्स मत करिए ट्रेडिंग को और इन्वेस्टमेंट को। अपॉर्चुनिटी मिल जाएगी। एसबीआई पता लगा कि यहाँ से वो 3 महीने तक नहीं हिला, आपका पैसा वहीं पे अटका रह जाएगा। तो होप यू नो इट आंसर्स योर क्वेरी। जब तक तेजी है तब तक बने रहिए, बट जब भी आपको इंडिकेशन मिल रहा है कि हाँ यहाँ पे आप तेजी का दौर थम गया है, तो एक्सेप्ट करिए उसको और अकॉर्डिंगली अपनी पोजीशन को चेंज करिए, राइट। तो ये हुई बैंकिंग की बात। नाउ लेट्स फोकस ऑन स्टॉक्स सेक्टर्स। सो बेसिकली देखिए बैंकिंग, ऑटो, मेटल्स इज समथिंग दैट वी वर डिस्कसिंग फॉर क्वाइट सम टाइम, citing their outperformance, steady performance. But now after this phase of consolidation, we are seeing consistency in pharma pack also, राइट। सो देखिए पहले हम जो बात कर रहे थे ना कि बैंकिंग जहां पे तेजी होना एक अलग बात है, तेजी में सस्टेनेंस आना, रुकना, फिर दोबारा से उस तेजी को कंटिन्यू करना, वो इम्पोर्टेंट होता है। तो वो अभी तक कहाँ हो रहा था, वो केवल बैंकिंग में हो रहा था, ऑटो में हो रहा था, मेटल में हो रहा था। बाकी सब सेक्टर्स में तेजी आती थी फिर विजल आउट हो जाती थी। अब जाके कुछ ऐसे जो नाम निकल के आ रहे हैं सेक्टर्स में, जिसमें से कि फार्मा भी एक ऐसा है जहां पे कि सस्टेन हो रहा है मूव। खासतौर से बड़े नाम जैसे कि औरो फार्मा, सन फार्मा, ल्यूपिन, डॉक्टर रेड्डीज, डेविस, इन सभी में। सो औरो फार्मा वी डिस्कस्ड अर्लियर आल्सो। अगेन इट्स काइंड ऑफ लाइक वेरी टाइट रेंज कंसोलिडेशन जो आप देख रहे हैं ना ये वीकली चार्ट पे। ये 3 वीक में हार्डली मूव किया है। तो एक बेस बनाने के बाद एक तेजी एंड देन दिस पॉज। सो बेसिकली इट्स अ बाइंग अपॉर्चुनिटी, इट्स ऑफरिंग यू opportunity those who missed the chance earlier to accumulate fresh, राइट। यहाँ पे जब कंसोलिडेशन हो रहा है, वॉल्यूम गिर रहा है, जो भी वीक हैंड है वो छोड़ रहे हैं स्टॉक को। नेक्स्ट लेग में 1350 1400 कोई भी लेवल्स हो सकते हैं। तो यहाँ पे आप फोकस कर सकते हैं लॉन्ग साइड की पोजीशंस के लिए, बेसिस योर रिस्क एपेटाइट। Next on the list, a high beta name. So usually I was confused whether I should include this name to this presentation or not, because we are seeing noticeable failed breakouts these days. Means breakout हो रहे हैं, वो fail हो रहे हैं। तेजी आती है, अगले दिन चली जाती है, right? Volumes भी दिखते हैं, but वो sustain नहीं कर रहे हैं। But anyways, the kind of price action and volumes that we have seen in Hind Copper, it clearly shows strong strength and uh, resilience. So this may result in continued move towards 420 or maybe higher. So this is something also that you should uh, keep on your watch list, but do maintain strict stop losses if you are trading high beta counters nowadays because volatility is high. जब भी आप इस टाइम पे हाई बीटा काउंटर्स, क्योंकि इंडेक्स रिकॉर्ड हाई पे दिख रहा है, स्टॉक्स आपको 52 वीक लो पे दिख रहे हैं और बहुत ज्यादा वॉलेटिलिटी है बाजार में स्टॉक स्पेसिफिक फ्रंट पे, स्टॉप लॉसेस के अलावा कोई दूसरा विकल्प ही नहीं है जो कि आपको बचा पाएगा। आपको लूज कितना करना है, 10 रुपए की गेन के लिए अगर खेलना है तो 5 रुपए का आपको स्टॉप, ये जरूर ध्यान रखना चाहिए, राइट। सो सेम होल्ड ट्रू फॉर जो कि ज्यादा वॉलेटाइल नाम होते हैं जैसे कि हिंद कॉपर। स्टॉप लॉस अपना पहले ही ध्यान रखिएगा जो भी आप लॉन्ग साइड के लिए कंसिडर करते हैं तो। लास्टली ऑन द लिस्ट, नौकरी, इन्फो एज। So as we are seeing that apart from pharma, IT and related sectors, they are also doing well. And Info Edge, Naukri, as you can see on the chart itself, a very tight or very decisive price action in the last one and a half month while holding above the 100 weeks of exponential moving average. It looks set for the next leg of rebound or recovery, right? तो देखिए, फार्मा के अलावा जो दूसरा सेक्टर जहां पे की स्ट्रेंथ दिख रही है या रिकवरी या रिवर्सल के चांसेस दिख रहे हैं वो है आईटी। हमने काफी हद तक देख लिया कि बैंकिंग ने अपना पार्ट प्ले किया, ऑटो और मेटल्स ने। अब इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि वो रिवर्स कर जाएंगे, बट यहाँ अब कोई भी एक रेस में भागता है तो उसके बाद फिर थोड़ा सा पॉज लेना, फिर दोबारा से अपनी रिकवरी को कंटिन्यू करना, उस तरीके की पॉसिबिलिटी। तो उस टाइम पे दूसरे प्लेयर्स आ जाते हैं मार्केट को सपोर्ट करने के लिए, जिसमें आईटी और फार्मा हमको दिख रहा है। नौकरी उसी स्पेस में से जहां पे कि काफी टाइट रेंज में कंसोलिडेशन चल रहा है। अब दोबारा से इंडिकेशन है कि यहाँ से एक रिकवरी आपको एक देखने को मिले आने वाले दिनों में। सो इसको भी यू कैन कंसिडर इन योर वॉच लिस्ट फॉर लॉन्ग ट्रेड्स। सो नेट we have a positive bias when it comes to the index 25,900. For the Nifty is what we are eyeing as a strong support area, strong base, right? Just see with the chart, right? With the upside potential of 26,500, 26,800. For banking index, 59,000 is the immediate support की make or break area। 59,000 का जो बैंकिंग इंडेक्स में आपको ध्यान रखना है, तो 25,900 और 59,000 ये दोनों लेवल्स आपको ध्यान रखने हैं नेक्स्ट वीक के लिए। जब तक इसके ऊपर है सब कुछ सही है निफ्टी और बैंकिंग इंडेक्स में, उसके नीचे जाएंगे तो फिर प्रॉब्लम होगी कंसोलिडेशन। Stock specific, Oro Pharma, Hind Copper, and Naukri, which is Info Edge, is something that you can keep in your watch list. So this is all from the presentation part. Let's do a quick feedback poll and then we can start with the Q&A session. So please fill in your feedback and then you can start posting your questions using that Q&A button. जो एक Q&A करके क्वेश्चन मार्क का एक बटन आपके स्क्रीन पे है, उसको आप पुश करेंगे, अपने सवाल को आप लिख कर पूछ सकते हैं। So please fill in your feedback and then you can start posting your questions. जिन जिन के फीडबैक हो गए हैं वो क्वेश्चन मार्क जो बना हुआ स्क्रीन पे, अभी बहुत सारे रेज हैंड्स हो रहे थे जो कि अपने सवाल शायद पूछना चाहते होंगे ड्यूरिंग द प्रेजेंटेशन। सवाल पूछने का टाइम अब है। कोई भी सवाल पूछना है लिख कर आपको पूछना पड़ेगा। एक क्वेश्चन मार्क का बटन जो आपकी स्क्रीन पर नजर आ रहा होगा उसको प्रेस करके लिख कर आपको पूछना है, राइट। सो वी आर ऑलमोस्ट डन ऑल्सो विद द फीडबैक। सो लेट्स स्टार्ट नाउ विद द Q&A। ओके, Okay, stock specific queries. So can we start with something on a sectoral front? Means किसी sector specific queries को पहले हम अगर कोई है तो वो आप पूछ लीजिए, उसके बाद टाइम मिलेगा तो फिर we'll continue with the stock specific queries। Because वो इतनी सारी हो जाती है ना कि जो बड़ी बात है वही कहीं ना कहीं पीछे रह जाती है कि किस पे फोकस करें, किस पे फोकस नहीं करें। जैसे कि अभी मैं बात कर रहा हूँ कि सेक्टर्स दैट यू शुड अवॉइड, बहुत सारी चीजें हैं इस तरीके से। ओके, सो नाउ वी हैव फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन फ्रॉम Abhinav on power sector. So yes, so in the energy pack, uh, what we are seeing is uh, of late we were seeing bit of a traction in OMC counters, but utility majority of the names, be it distributors, like producers, all were witnessing underperformance and still continuing, right? So there's no sign of rebound, and that is what is important in present market scenario. Avoiding the laggards is equally important, right? If you are keep on buying, let's say NHPC, SJVN on every decline without knowing the reason why they are going down, and will it be a uh, like a potential reversal in the coming days or not, are they uh, closer to their support, it's not a good strategy. So two sectors basically which one should avoid, including energy basket में से power, wherein we are not seeing any sign of decisiveness yet, and FMCG. FMCG means some of these stocks like Britannia, Marico, they are doing well. In fact, United Spirits also falls into the same category, which is holding strong. But largely, this sector is either trading sideways or negative. So energy and FMCG as of now is something which is avoidable, and they may continue to underperform, right? Okay, so yes, I missed this because most of you might be like, willing to know about this. Mr. Anand has this question on railway stocks. So, railway stocks, in fact, this week it was fresh decline in several names. Means they have made their new 52-week low. Means the yearly lows. So avoid that mistake of catching the falling knives. जो रेलवे के काउंटर्स हैं उनमें अभी कोई साइन ऑफ रिकवरी रिवर्सल नहीं है, तो अवॉइड करिएगा उनमें और पोजीशन ऐड करने के लिए। इनफैक्ट फ्रेश डिक्लाइन दिख रहे हैं कुछ एक नामों में, इरडा, IRFC, इन सभी में। तो अवॉइड करिएगा कोई भी फ्रेश पोजीशन, एंड फॉर द एग्जिस्टिंग पोजीशन इफ द व्यू इज लॉन्ग टर्म, यू मे कंटिन्यू टू स्टे पुट and keep a close eye on the earnings, their execution. That would be the critical factor to watch out for in the coming quarters. Okay, IT, Mr. Chabil, like what we've shared during the presentation, we have a bullish view. IT, pharma, alongside with private banking, auto, select stock from the metal counters. So barring FMCG and energy, largely all the sectors on the rotational basis are participating. But IT, after this phenomenal move, roughly around 3.5%, top five gainers in the Nifty 50 basket, there could be a bit of a consolidation profit taking every now and then. So don't get carried away with a single week of rebound. Means don't be aggressive. Accumulate them on dips. Stocks from the mid-cap IT basket like Coforge, Persistent, Emphasis, they are alongside with the you know large cap names like TCS, HCL Tech, Infosys, all looks firm on chart. So hope Jitinder, this answers your query as well कि आप IT में invest कर सकते हैं long term के point of view से, right? Okay, stock specific query, stock specific. Yes. Oh, yes. Suman has this question on real estate sector. So yes, I missed this. because it's a thematic play, and real estate also is not doing much. Means they are closer to the support. We are seeing a rebound every now and then, but still there's no sign of decisive, recovery or rebound yet. In short, downside seems capped. So you should not go short, when it comes to the reality counters like DLF, Oberoi Reality, Shoba and all. At the same time, you should not be aggressive on the long side because they might continue with their underperformance. ठीक है, तो आपको रियलिटी काउंटर्स में अभी एग्रेसिव पोजीशनिंग नहीं करनी है. जिनके पास है वो रुक सकते हैं, बिकॉज यहाँ पे डिक्लाइन शायद पॉज होता हुआ नजर आए, कुछ बेस फॉर्म करे, कंसोलिडेट करे, उसके बाद रिकवरी आए. फ्रेश बाइंग अभी आपको रियल एस्टेट में अवॉइड करना है, इन शॉर्ट. So, Sudeep, partially I've answered your query on the real estate name, power name, and Oro we have already discussed. So we'll see that in case if we can come back on the remaining stocks. Right. Okay. Okay, Rajesh has this interesting query, sir. As you mentioned that IndusInd Bank in today's session, but if we look carefully, the fundamentals still not out of wood, though in technical it looks pretty good. My question is, what should be the correct level to make a position? So, Rajesh ji, as we mentioned at the beginning of the presentation itself, it's not a trading or an investment idea that we are sharing. What we are sharing is the overview. It's completely upon you that how you want to utilize this information. Means basis your risk appetite. In case if you are feeling okay about it, you can maintain your position. If you are associated with us with Religare, you can just get in touch through your branch, your business partner, and obviously the research team will help you with the uh, complete recommendation, right? So hope this answers your query. But yes, we have a positive view, from the at least short-term point of view. Fundamentally, of course, there's a lot to take care of. Okay, next we have Mr. Santosh on chemical and specialty chemical. So yes, this is one sector which everybody keeps a close eye on. Means we have had multiple, multi-baggers in the past from this particular space, which is reeling under pressure from last several years now. So after this theory that China plus one is going to be the game changer for this particular sector, it turned out to be otherwise. And mostly people, they have increased their capacity and everything, but it failed to materialize, and that's the reason why we are seeing this kind of underperformance. And still there is no decisive sign on the industry level. At least selective counters, yes, we are seeing outperformance, in fact noticeable outperformance in this space, but not the entire universe. So one should be selective when it comes to chemical and specialty chemical basket. Again, if the view is long term, then it's good. Short term, this kind of choppiness might continue in this space as well. Okay. Sectoral pick, we've shared, barring FMCG, energy, and realty counters, largely other sectors on the rotational basis are participating in the move, and you can continue to look for long opportunities in them, right? So Snehansh, I guess you're mistaken. We are regularly sharing our recommendations, derivative recommendation, and I'm sure that you are associated with us. That's the reason why you are highlighting this. But all the recommendations are there. In case if you face any issue, you can get in touch with your branch and they'll help you out. All right. Now let's take few stock specific queries now. Jitendra has this question. on IDFC First Bank. So IDFC First Bank looks strong overall. So yes, you can continue to stay put with strict stop losses. This is your risk appetite. Now we have Abhinav on BEML. So BEML, Abhinav has slipped below its very critical support of 100 EMA this week around 1735. And next support comes around 1600 mark, so which is roughly around 100 points away from the current area. That's the immediate support that we have. So not a very good picture to look at. Margin supported at 1650 also. So overall, due to the oversold position, we might see the stock taking a breather around 1600, 1650 zone. And in case if there is any rebound, 1800, 1850 will be the area of resistance. So if the view is short term, you should definitely maintain stop losses around the support area and use recovery to reduce your position. Okay, next NBCC. NBCC is basically like what we are seeing in the mid cap and small cap space, failed breakout, and similar kind of a setup is that we have in NBCC also. Till last week, very strong indications were there that it might retest the record highs. But after this, 4 days of decline, it might continue to consolidate in this range, 110 to 120. So if the view is very short term, 110 is the area basically where one can think of maintaining any stop, and gradually around 120 levels, one can look for booking profits. And BEL, BEL looks sideways to us, means it's comparatively stronger, when it comes to the defense basket. So from that perspective, it's positionally a good hold. 398 is the immediate support base, so that can be the area where one can look for placing the stop. On the higher side, around 420, 430 is the zone where we have strong resistance. So around that area is something that you can consider about booking profits. Okay. Sanjeev, mutual fund is basically a separate domain altogether, and we are talking about direct equity. So, in case if you are associated with us, you can just get in touch with your branch or business partner. They will help you out with the best mutual funds for sale. Okay. Dixon, Sandeep, means majority of these EMS players really had a bad time, in the recent weeks. Keynes, Dixon, they all have, declined very sharply of late. Dixon is now, very closer to its critical support around 13,200 mark. In case if it fails to hold, then 12,000. So in case if the view is very short term, you should definitely consider maintaining a stop at 13,200 for your long trades. In case if there'll be any rebound around 14,300, 500 zone will be the area where it might face strong resistance. So one can consider aligning the positions accordingly. Okay. Dilip Agarwal ji has this question on Mosh chip. Mosh chip. So a very volatile stock. So we all know the kind of swing that the stock has experienced in last nearly 4 months. So from 150 to 285, then again to 200 levels now. So avoid this kind of extremely volatile counters, especially if the view is short term and you are not sure about the company's fundamental. 190.95 is the immediate base, so that should be a stop loss in case if you are stuck. In case of rebound, 220 will be the first area of resistance. Above 220, the stock might stabilize. So as of now, 190 is the area where one can consider about maintaining the stop. For Amsumi, the wiring, it looks okay to us, means broadly this range is playing out 44.50. So 44 we have recently tested, and that's why we are seeing a rebound. So yes, one can continue to hold as long as the stock is maintaining above this lower band. So largely we have answered all the queries, I guess. Auto stock, we have positive view, so one can continue with that. More of stock specific queries. So why Amber Enterprise? So basically there's some news related to this particular sector, in fact, is causing this kind of decline, and that's the reason why majority of the counters were reeling under sharp pressure. So instead, focusing on the why part, especially if you are holding trading position, means for the short term you have bought it and now the stock is struggling, do maintain a strict hard stop in the system. Right below this level, I'll definitely exit come what may. If the view is long term, you may continue to stay put, wait for the results or updates from the management, and act accordingly. Ravindra Kumarji, like what I've shared, you can get in touch with your branch, your business partner. They'll help you out with the best mutual funds and other details. Railway counters, largely we have discussed that the majorities are under pressure, including RVNL, but it's comparatively better. Uh, you know, 300 is the make or break area for RVNL. In case if it fails to hold, then probably we can see fresh decline in RVNL too. If the view is very short term, 300 should be your stop loss basis the indication that we have on charts. All right, so with this, we have answered all the queries. Thank you everyone for participating, asking questions. Next week, same time, same place on 12th of December, we'll connect again. Till then, take care.